All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday. I have no concept of days of the week anymore. Yeah, so it is finally getting quite chilly here in Atlanta, and I'm sure a lot of you are from much colder areas than me, so you're gonna laugh at this, but it's 52 degrees outside this morning, and that is quite frosty for us. We've had a really weird fall. Normally, Atlanta does that thing where it's cold for about 2 days in September. And by cold, I mean like 70s. Like I'm not talking cold, cold, but it gets cooler for a couple of days in September. And then it goes back up again. And normally, October, we're still hitting 80s a lot of days. Today, we're not going to hit 70. Tonight, it's going to be in the 40s. My heat is actually going to have to be on. I am excited about it. I've got like 8 million blankets, and I use 3 of them every night because I'm one of those people, but I think tonight I'm going to be able to use 4, and I'm excited about that. Um, there's Sandy. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Sandy.
Okay, I made it to the
You
thing.
did. You
Yeah,
did. How are you this morning?
I'm awake, is what I am. I'm
Let's go
totally,
with that.
yeah. I'll tell you how I am in like 15 minutes when I'm conscious about being awake.
What's your fully woken? Yeah, I went to bed late last night. That guy that moved out on Saturday has been here, I believe, every single day since then. So last night I was finishing up. I was already finishing up late because I fell behind on my goal yesterday, and I was like, I need to do one more sprint. But of course, that ends up being like an extra half hour once I like queue it up and get myself prepped and everything. Um, and then I went outside because I haven't been able to quit smoking this year, and that is what it is. But like, he joined me out there, and then he talked for another like 20 minutes, and I was like, I gotta go to bed, but like you're in the middle of a story that turned out to be a really, really flippin' long story. So here I am. So I went to bed late and then, had issues falling asleep. It is what it is. And then Ken isn't home. So I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to Chonk's Boulder Pete
To
that
what?
right on my boobs. Chonk standing on me, but for some reason he's got like the daintiest little paws, and he's a fat ass. So I had to like get up and feed them, and then she was missing. I looked all over the house. I don't have a house where cats can hide easily. It turned out that Tommy had accidentally locked her in Ken's bedroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor baby.
Yes, she probably peed on his bed. I'm not dealing with that yet. Ken's not back until Saturday night, so I'll deal with it sometime between now and then. Make sure his bed wasn't peed on, but I'm not dealing with it now.
Wow. Okay, so you've had a rough night.
Yeah,
But you're here too and awake.
I am. I am. I definitely like when my alarm went off at 7 because that's what I set it for on these days. I was like, let's go ahead and push that back 20 minutes. And when I pushed it back 20 minutes, I was like, I'm going to give it 10 more minutes. And then I got up like 5 minutes later because that's who I am. But the important thing is it's time for a sprint.
Yes, great.
We're going to go for 10, and then we're going to do, I believe it's 3:15s. So, yeah, I think it's 3:15s.
Okay.
We'll have you guys out of here by half past the next hour, whatever that happens to be for you. We're going to get a whole bunch of writing done this morning. All right. Starting now. Good luck, everybody. All right, some technical difficulties there, but I am back. I will be super excited when this table finally arrives. And of course, initially I was told that it was going to be here today, and now it's saying Monday. I don't know how they mess up. Well, I don't know. Does FedEx not deliver on the weekends?
I think they deliver on the weekends if you pay for them to deliver.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I don't know why.
Also, I had.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
When I was going
to say, I had no idea.
Oh God, we're doing a delay.
Your turn.
Okay. Sorry. I guess I'm still out in my dining room, and I am still very far away from my router, and internet is still fighting me. I was given the notice that it was going to be here on like a Tuesday, I think it was. They sent the thing saying that it was going to be here on Friday. And on Wednesday, it was in El Paso. And now it's on the other side of Texas, but it's still in Texas, and I am in Atlanta. So it's not making very good progress.
Yeah, that's definitely not ideal. Maybe it'll be there Monday.
I hope so, because I have stuff planned.
And you basically moved your old desk out, so you've got like an empty hole in your office.
I do, which is slowly being filled with how my life is. It's slowly getting filled with like random shit from my room. I'm like, here's a good place to put this. So I'm gonna have to like re-clean everything just to get the damn desk back into place.
Oh no, that sucks. Well, maybe it'll get there. No, it's Friday. It's not going to be there until Monday or Tuesday. That bites.
No, it's absolutely in Texas right now.
So with your morning. Oh, wow, we do have a delay, don't we? I'm going to wait for you to talk. You're hosting and I'm asleep. And then I'll try to respond.
We're delayed right now. Hopefully this will get fixed in our next sprint. Sometimes it does. And I apologize that we're talking on top of each other for you guys this morning. It is what it is. But thank you for joining us, Pronoun, and thank you for joining us, Paget. We're just still having these technical difficulties. Hopefully that desk will be here by Monday, like early-ish, and at least by our next show we won't be dealing with this crap. It's funny because yesterday, being by myself, everything went perfectly smoothly.
Oh, maybe I'm cursing this. Maybe there's a problem there. It's a possibility.
No, I think it was for some reason at that time everything was good, and then as the day went on, everything deteriorated. I couldn't watch one of the live webinars. I couldn't watch Brian Cohen's live webinar last night because the internet was so bad that I couldn't get anything. And the day before, I asked a question that he actually answered. It broke up in the middle of his answer. I have no idea what his answer was.
Can you go back and watch the replay?
There are no replays on these this time. It's really weird. I don't know what's going on with the settings for it, but I can only watch it within my Facebook feed. like I can't even full screen it to like where you got him and like the sidebar of conversation happening. So I can't even see the questions as they pop up. It's really annoying. I don't know what's going on.
So many problems.
How'd you do on that sprint? Did you get any work done on that sprint?
I did. It doesn't look like I got a lot done, but I'm like I got through like a page and a half, but I'm editing, revising, so it's okay. I only need to get through one chapter at a time of this memoir, and I'm on chapter 8. So there's only 18 chapters, so I can do this in October. But these do take a lot longer than my like typical revisions would take.
Understandable. I don't know, I wrote like 100 words and then it caused a very slight continuity error. So I went to fix that. I was like, it's okay. It's a little sprint. I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of time to fix this minor continuity error. Literally, I just had to make sure that one of the characters had seen something previously. So I just had to add it in there. It wasn't anything to do, but right, I was finding the scene where I needed to add that thing is when my connection dropped. And so I lost all that time and we'll have to do it on the next one. But that's okay. That is life and that is writing.
Oh, Lord. So we have a date for our C-section. And I was at the doctor's office yesterday. This is the more relevant part. So there's a date. It's not really unexpected, but I was asking her what to bring to the hospital, and I got a very like less is more answer. And so between like I've had multiple bags packed, like I like as if I'm going to war. So like other than my writing, I've been obsessing over consolidating my like 3 enormous bags into one for a hospital stay. This is really hard. I think this might be extra hard for a writer. I'm imagining all kinds of things that could go wrong, right? And like I should be prepared for that. I should have like a hoodie and a cardigan. I need my own pillows.
Coming from the camper perspective, I see these lists all the damn time of like everything that you need to bring with you camping. And these lists will balloon into like hundreds of items of what to pack. If Ken and I are going camping for the weekend, we bring clothes that are suitable for hiking, including shoes that are suitable for hiking, a cooler, some lights. We stop on our way to the campsite for food. Like that is always what we do. We don't pack in advance. We stop at the Walmart or the, Ingles or whatever crap there is that's like in the town before you go to wherever you're camping. And then we bring hammocks. We don't even bring tents. Like we are so light on this. And every single time we have a good camping trip because we don't follow those lists because those lists are always like, we're going to prepare you for every goddamn disaster imaginable. You don't need that. And like the thing is that like if we're camping, 6 hours away from home, we need to be more deliberate, but we're camping 2 hours from home. You are going to be at a hospital that's 45 minutes from home?
Well, I mean, it is true that I'm not going to be able to like go back home during those 72 hours.
No,
like there's no place I can stop to
but
get stuff.
Malcolm will be able to.
No,
and your parents and his parents are going to be in town.
Unfortunately, there's no like we're like kind of locked in. Like we go in.
Oh, check in. This is a weird situation then.
Right.
That this is happening. This is existing outside of the normal. Yeah.
Which is part of the thing, right? Like I've been thinking like, well, we probably can't go even back to our car. Like they have to test us for COVID. Like we have to get into the
Yeah.
maternity ward, right? So now I don't know what happens after that when we're like NICU visitors. Who knows how that goes down? But it's a whole thing. But okay, you are right in the sense that hospitals carry supplies, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't need a drugstore. I have the hospital. The whole hospital.
Yeah, and like things are expensive there, but unless they're actually being medically given to you, they're not that expensive.
And most of the stuff would be given to me, right? Like it's not like I have to buy my own feminine hygiene products there. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel like they just automatically give that to you, whether you want them to give it to you or not. Like
Indeed. Yeah. Oh, and I think we just lost Chloe, but she was about to start a timer. So okay, and I think I can do this. I think I can create a timer for us, you guys.
Okay, I don't know what that was. I accidentally tried to click on the timer, and apparently I accidentally tapped leave studio. Anyways, we are actually going to the sprint. That was not the internet breaking down on us this time. Don't panic. We are going to sprint for the next 15 minutes, though. So it is 26 after. So that puts us at, I don't know why I can never do this math. It's the easiest saying math. It's going to go until 41 after. Sorry for the confusion, and good luck, everybody. All right, that was some more technical difficulties there. Sorry about that. We're just gonna have. What are you doing?
Uh-oh. Did Chloe freeze? I think you froze there. I have no idea.
I don't know. We're going to make the best of this. The good news is we are going to sprint again in 10 minutes. And there is such a lag somewhere.
Okay, there's not a lag right now for me, but you are weirdly fuzzy.
Sandy, can you hear me?
YouTube is super behind, so we can't. Yes, I can hear you. I can. Oh, and she's gone. I think she's gone, or I'm gone. So you guys, I think we are experiencing legit technical difficulties right now. And hopefully we will get Chloe back shortly. Oh, wait, no, is that her? No, that's not her yet. So how'd you all do with your writing there? I think I may have gotten through an additional page from what I got through last time, so that's good. So normally I write fiction, but since I am writing nonfiction right now, one thing I'm learning is that, like, you would think that nonfiction would be easier, but it's really not. And there's Chloe. And Chloe, I'm rambling about nonfiction and how it's a little bit harder unexpectedly, but you're back. So I can ramble with you.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yep. I was saying the nonfiction is harder for me. Like I think it should be easier, but it's not, because I think I want it to be really accurate, and clear. But so did you get any writing done during that time yourself?
I got the continuity error fixed.
Good.
And that was about it, but it was important to get that fixed. I got a grand total of 170 words there.
But I mean, it was 15 minutes and you had technical difficulties, so I think that's okay.
Yeah. And I might have created another continuity error for myself, but that's okay. I don't know why I'm so vague on like some of the things that have happened in previous books. I do, like, for this one, the timeline was so weird in Hazel that it's hard to remember like where everything laid out, because there were so many separate plot lines going on in it. So like I might have created a continuity error right now, fabricating a conversation between Hazel and Verity when there wouldn't have been time for them to have a conversation, but that's okay.
You're not the only person having technical difficulties. Paget just got that like forced update and restart that takes like forever. Oh my God, I hate that.
Oh yeah.
I hate that. It's the worst. And it always happens at the worst time, right? Like, God, we shouldn't even be talking about it because Chloe, it'll totally happen to you now. Like, wait this second.
Right. My entire day will be lost.
Yeah. But okay, good for fixing a continuity error and making it through that.
Yes. I'm almost done with this. I wanted to be done days ago. And then this was kind of, I was hoping that today I would be finished. I don't think I will be at this point. Let me see. I've got 4.5 more scenes to do. And that's probably like 8,000 words. I'm not going to be able to do that today, but this will definitely be done tomorrow.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, and so the pronoun is working on her portfolio, and I asked what it was. Apparently it is short stories and poems. 10 poems. That is actually a lot of poems for...
It is.
I would get uncreative after like 2 or 3.
Poetry was never my thing. There are some poets that I like. But overall, poetry has never been my thing. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I need it to be really obvious. I need it to be like William Blake obvious what they're talking about. Like, yes, the poison tree. I understand the poison tree. And it's got a nice little beat to it, and I'm happy. But like, especially like modern poetry, I just don't. This isn't dissing modern poetry at all. If you write modern poetry, more power to you. But I've never, I don't have the mind to understand it.
So I wrote 2 poems for my Mortal Inheritance, the first book, not because I'm a poet, but because one of the characters was a poet. I'm like pleased with how it turned out, but oh my gosh, that's so hard. And then this time I was like, I'm going to avoid the poetry thing. Instead, I'll write prayers for the character who's like, devoutly religious. That's even harder.
It is making them sound right. Does not go well.
Yeah, seriously. So there's, because you end up feeling like corny when it's not when it's like, or disingenuous, right? Like I have to really get my head into that space, and it's difficult. Also, I know so little about poetry. I would not know what the poison tree.
Poison tree. I think that was. I might not even be right about the name of it.
I know, like, I was so not into poetry. I don't know.
A Poison Tree. I was totally right on that. A Poison Tree by William Blake. It's, if I remember correctly, it was literally about. Oh, I think it's about hate, about fostering hate in oneself.
Yes, I know this poem. I just Googled it. I just Googled it. I do know this one.
Yeah. It's a really common and super easy poem. There's also, he has a funny one about a fly that I wasn't expecting to talk about poetry today, so I don't remember the specifics of it, but I remember there was one about a fly that I thought was funny and cute. It's like 4 lines. It's one of those. However, as the pronoun just said, I didn't even read that as 3 short stories. I absolutely read that as 3 short stories. I didn't even notice the typo in it. Also, I've done enough like writing exercises that yes, if you told me I had to write 3 short stories about shirts, I'd be like, all right, what's the deadline on it? Let's do this stupid shit.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's do some writing though. Oh God, I'm not even, every time I do this, I have to reset everything and it's fun. There we go. Okay, so we are writing for another 15. We are finally back on time. So we will be finishing this sprint at 5 after. Good luck, everybody. right. We are continuing to experience technical difficulties, but I got a decent little chunk there. Yeah. What did you do, Sandy?
Good. I am finishing a sentence.
Same. Let me finish this one too. And I did get about 300 there, so that was nice. Also, I got, like, of course, because everything else was finally, like, pretty well caught up for that one, I got a whole bunch of texts from Ken. Ken is in Piedmont Park right now, which, for those of you watching who are not from the Atlanta area, is the gigantic park in Atlanta. It's like our version of Central Park, but much smaller. But it's also where, like, our botanical gardens are and stuff like that. So it's a good size park. It's got, like, a nice big pond in it and everything. But Ken's down there right now. And backtracking slightly, we have this plant that started growing like midsummer here that's in a weird spot. We've owned this house for about 4 years. We've never seen this thing before, but it's clearly coming out of a bulb. So we know that we didn't plant it because of where it's located. We have a ton of bulbs in our front yard, but where it is would be a really awkward spot for us to put a bulb. So we had no idea what this thing was. Also, the fact that it was coming up midsummer was really strange. And then it's gigantic. Its leaves are bigger than my hand, and they're very wide leaves. I had no idea what this thing was. We also had another crazy plant coming up at the same time that looks like a tomato plant, but has never gotten any fruit and is like 5 feet tall. And we're just letting these two weird plants grow because they're not like spreading too much. Like, well, let's just see what they are. So this thing finally, after getting a whole bunch of leaves and like a couple of offshoots and stuff, finally got like a stalk on it for a flower. And once the bud started to open, it looked like a bunch of little yellow tentacles. So there was a couple days there that we were like, is this Cthulhu? Are we growing Cthulhu? It's 2020. This could absolutely be Cthulhu. And I just hope that Cthulhu remembers that we let him grow. And then, like, so this was probably on Monday that the little yellow started coming out. And then yesterday, one of the little finally opened up, and it's a flower. It's a flower that sparked a heated argument on my Facebook. And I love the fact that my Facebook friend list is so well curated that they're arguing about what type of flower this is.
Oh.
One of my friends kept saying an iris, and I was like, I know it looks like an iris, but iris have blade leaves on them. This does not have a blade leaf. I had posted the Cthulhu picture a couple days before, so you can see the giant leaves on it. I did some Googling, and I thought it might be this thing called a canna, not a calla, a canna lily. But like the pictures I saw were a bunch of different varietals. You know, it's kind of hard to tell, especially when like all the leaves are different colored and stuff. So the whole point of this, and why I mentioned Piedmont Park at the beginning, is that Ken just sent me a picture of Piedmont Park, which is apparently covered in canna lilies right now. So this whole like big mystery we've been going through for several months now, it's this flower that's all over the effing place here. It's nice though because it's mid-October and we've got a bright yellow flower at our yard.
That is actually kind of nice. It's nice to live in a place where things like could potentially be pretty in like this time of year.
Yeah. And it's nice to have stuff that actually is. Like we're certainly warm enough, although I was talking about how cold it was this morning. We are finally hitting like cold weather here, which I feel like is a little early for us, but that's okay. But yeah, like this thing, that was really what shocked us about this one. And the other monster, we still don't really understand what's going on with that thing. Tomato, but no flowers on it either, which is, how does this plant exist if it doesn't flower? I don't know. But yeah, it's nice to have things. We planted all these bulbs, and of course they were beautiful all summer long. And then, or like all like June and July, and then by August everything had burnt. So it's nice to have something coming up now.
I'm glad you don't have some crazy plant growing in your yard. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't have surprised me either. It's 2020, but still. Oh, I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm gonna get tea.
I yawn all day long, no matter how awake I am. So you're fine.
I don't, but I am clearly not a morning person at all. Like these things where we write in the mornings they're good for me. They're like forcing me to be productive. I get to the end of the day and I'm like, wow, I actually got some stuff done today. Yeah, but so these are.
Yeah, you do this and then you move on and do something else for a little while and then you come back and you finish up your workday. No, I'm yawning. Yeah, and I'm feeling cold. That's your fault. I blame you for that one.
They're contagious. They're totally contagious. Oh, yeah, but still, that's okay. Seriously,
also,
I've gotten so much done. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I like all of the like fake shirt stories everybody invented during that break.
50 Shades of Grey shirts.
Yeah. I have a friend, an acquaintance. I don't really like him, but he's a friend of Ken's, and it is what it is. But we call him Gray Shirt Devin because he is in a relationship now, and she has forced him to wear something other than gray shirts. But for the first 10 years that I knew him, I only ever saw him in a gray shirt so I feel that 50 Shades of Grey shirts in a different way.
That's very funny, and I'm glad that he has found somebody who can make him wear some different colored shirts.
Wow, I feel really bad for her, but yes.
My Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is right there in the video. Do you guys see that?
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know why that just mattered to me, but it did.
Because it popped up.
Yeah.
I understand that. If I had anything behind me or to my sides that I could compare, I feel like I still have a copy of Gray floating around somewhere. Just in case anybody thinks otherwise. I read it because it was a nightmare and I did not finish it. I'm very proud of myself for getting farther than James, but I only got about 50 pages farther than James.
Wait, is
James only got to about 100.
Is that the 50 Shades, but from what's his name's perspective?
Yes, from that piece of shit's perspective. I had read the first book. I had read 50 Shades of Grey. The only reason I read it through was because I wanted to know a character thing. He doesn't let her touch his chest. And I was like, I'm just going to find out what that's about and move on. I read the first one and that was not answered. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to continue. So I just Googled it like a normal human being and moved on with my life. And then James bought Gray at the airport on his way to China just because he thought it'd be really funny to bring that kind of terrible smut into China. He tried reading it. It was really bad. He took notes about how bad it was. He gave it to me where I believe it was 400 citations on it before I gave up. That was how bad it was. There were 400 things I felt worth citing, how bad they were. But yeah, I read it in hopes that it would make him be less of a piece of shit. And actually, it made him even worse. He is a terrible character, and I understand that alpha holes is a thing that happens in romance, but I believe this is well beyond alpha hole, and he's just a disgusting human being.
Yeah, so I read the first couple, it's like 50 Shades, and what I think is what I think people miss about E.L. James is that she is actually a storyteller. Like the ethics of everything she's writing, and whether you can feel good about her characters is one thing, right? And there's a question of whether the writing is just like fabulous. It's not. And yet she's able to write something that keeps people reading for like tons and tons of books. And I respect that. I mean,
despite all of the ridiculous errors in it, despite the fact that they are clearly British people, but they're American, but they are clearly British. There's nothing American about them.
Yeah, but I mean, she's still saying this is how I feel about Stephanie Meyer too. I feel like, like something about what she did with Twilight there's a story. There's something that people want to read. So whether you like the characters or feel like the characters are terrible role models, whether you like the writing or feel like maybe it could use some massive work, I don't know, like she's still tapping into something that makes people feel things and want to keep reading. So, and we never think about that, right? Like nobody ever dissects Twilight and goes, why do people love this despite everything? Like we just go, oh, we shouldn't love it. Okay, but people do love it. So how come? I don't know.
I've always said I didn't like it. I thought it was terrible, but I mean, if you like it, I hate Stephen King and people love Stephen King. So I don't judge anybody else for liking it. I just personally hated it.
And I didn't hate them. I felt guilty for not hating them. But like, no,
yeah, because everybody shamed so badly on it. But also, I feel like when you get that level of fame and wealth off of something like that, and that's what it is, I do think that there is some shaming to be had, because I certainly don't think it's anything all of that special in the erotica category. It just happened to be the one that caught fire for whatever reason.
See, and that's the thing, right? Like, so why did it catch fire? What is the element there? Like, where is the bit of the story that appeals so universally that like that many people need to read that book? And I think I
think it's luck. I think it's a blogger. I think it's literally somebody on the internet was like, hey, I like this book. And they had enough clout behind their name that it kicked off. That's how so many of these things get to where they are. One person was like, yes, I'm going to make this a superstar, and I have that ability.
I don't know if I feel that way. I think you need a little more than luck to get like worldwide notice over a story.
You don't think right place at the right time is a thing?
No, I do. I think she needed some luck. But both E.L. James and Stephanie Meyer's, right? But I also think that luck isn't enough to make your stuff just blow up. Like I think there has to be some other element. There must be something else that makes it so that there's some appeal, right? Like, and I'm not exactly sure what it is in either of those stories, but I think it's the same thing. Like I think there's something between the two series that we don't appropriately respect.
I'm going to say that there are like 10,000 books that are basically identical to those two. And those happen to be the 1 in 10,000 that got that spark that got that pickup to them, where we needed something to fill this. We love to like, again, take these things to superstar level, and that just happened to be the one. Like, I'm not saying that there's nothing to them that would cause that spark, but I think that there are 10,000 other books that came out at that time that could have had equal luck with it.
Maybe not 10,000, but I'll agree with you that there could be 1,000 that could have had, like in that year, that moment.
Yeah, also, you got to remember that was something that was a fanfic off of Twilight. And you know how the fanfic community is. If they get behind something, they can blow that up as well. So that was something that she had going for her that other eroticas did not have going for them.
Although that's a really interesting thing too, because if you look at fan fiction, even though fandoms are enormous, the number of stories in like any fandom that are good is actually really limited. Like, yeah, there are really amazing Harry Potter fan fiction stories out there, but not like tens of thousands. There are, millions of fan fictions, and then there's, a solid 1,000 that are good. And
so she hit that like 1 in 10,000 books like that just in the erotica thing. And she also hit that 1 of 1,000 books that's decent in the Twilight fanfic. Those two things coming together.
I'd really like to know numbers on this. Like real numbers. I don't know. The optimist in me wants to think that there's a reason, right? Other than just luck. That like, yes, luck matters, but that there's something additional. Anyway.
I will point out all of our time on 20 books to 50K and all of those times that these people are like, oh, I just put this book out and it blew up. And then like 17 paragraphs down the way, they're like, also, I have 10 million Twitter followers. Like,
right.
Like
that's not luck. Yeah, exactly. Or like also all 1,000 of my family members bought the book. It blew up.
Yeah. I had them all buy it at the same time, and therefore it shot me up to the bestseller rank. Like, yeah.
Right. Yeah,
we should do this last sprint though, because we just ran way over.
Sorry.
Debating about why 50 Shades of Grey is something that anybody cares about. Okay, so this is our last 15. Sorry, we ran a little bit long there, but we did that thing that we do. So we are going to write. We're running so far behind. We're going to write until 37 after, and then we'll bid y'all adieu. All right. Okay. We are back.
Yes.
I'm going to finish this sentence. It was too weird, this sentence. I feel pretty good about that. And I did clear 1,000 for this morning, which is awesome because I was awake and ready to go and didn't want to be wasting all that time on technical difficulties. So I'm glad I still ended up with 1,100. I got like 400 on that last sprint, which is awesome. Maybe, no, I'm not. I want to be like, maybe I'll get this done today. I don't want to be that. But like if I don't know, if it gets to like 10 o'clock tonight and I've only got one scene to go, I'll probably pull that extra shift and just sleep in tomorrow because why not?
Yeah. And I am like a third through this chapter. This one has like
awesome.
21 pages. Yeah, I'm through like 7.5.
Did you just start that chapter this morning?
Yes. So
perfect.
Hopefully this morning I can finish it and then I can move on to the proofreading that I have to do today.
Yes. So that is it for us today. We will be doing a regular afternoon show on Monday. I think that is our next show, right? Yeah, because we're going to the weekend. Natalia with Writer's Block Party should be going right now. Do you know if she is, Sandy?
She should be. I haven't checked this morning.
So yeah, there should be more sprints. Her sprints go from 9 to 12. She is in our footer notes if you want to find her. Is she under Natalia or is she under Writer's Block Party?
I believe she's under Writer's Block Party. I can confirm that. Actually, I'm going to pull that up right now. Yeah, she's under Writer's Block Party. She's the very end of the list because it's, alphabetic.
Yeah. So she is running for the next 2.5 hours until noon Eastern time. I will probably be doing some nano-specific things next week with my region, but I'll be in this channel. So it's not going to be sprints. It's going to be prep stuff specifically for nano, but it's going to kind of be whatever my region wants me to talk about. We're talking about plotting first, I believe. I believe everybody watching is subscribed to this channel. If you want to do some little like meet and greet about nano, you are welcome to join us next week. And we'll be doing these morning shows Tuesday, Thursday, Friday next week.
Awesome. So lots of opportunities. So next week then, when you're starting the nano stuff, are you going to announce each of those sessions at like whatever session you were in last?
Yes, I don't have a schedule for it yet because of this desk issue, which obviously we're seeing is like an issue that I really can't be doing nano stuff, or I shouldn't be scheduling additional stuff with people who are not used to the whole streaming thing. So I will like put up an actual schedule once I have that desk and I can actually do it. But the people of my region have said evenings and weekends, and one of them just said evenings. So I'm just going to do midweek evenings at like 8 p.m. a couple times over the next few weeks. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for running these this morning. I'm now awake.
Yeah, thanks for coming in and putting up with my technical crap this morning.
And I guess we'll see all of you hopefully on Monday.
Watching at home for also putting up with my technical crap this morning. Again, hopefully this will be the last time that this is happening on like a beautiful but chilly day.
All right.
Yeah. So that's it. So good luck and happy writing, everybody. Bye.